There was definitely times earlier in my life I was really romanticized by these like very extensive morning routines and supplement rituals and like all this stuff of mental masturbation around the work that needed to be done. But when I looked at 2 hours later and nothing had actually gotten done, the moment you begin working is when your output per unit of time goes up. And so that makes beginning the single greatest hack that you can have for everything else that you do in work. Because the thing is, when you start working, you start getting in the mood to work, right? Like everything else is procrastinating around the work that you think you should do. But I used to take hours to delay to start the first 5 minutes. And so my time compression of when I thought I should start doing something and when I started doing it over time is just compressed to the point where it's like the moment I think that I need to start doing it, sometimes I just start it. Intelligence means rate of learning. It's a rate, not an attribute, as an aside, which then means you have to define learning. Learning means same condition, new behavior. So if I hold up a red card and then I slap you, and then I'll hold up a red card again, and then you duck, you've learned. If you wake up every day and life shows you a red card, and then you don't duck and you don't change, then you have learned nothing. And so if you go to a weekend and you go to a workshop, and then the next day you go back and you do the exact same activities in the same conditions, and you have no new behavior, it means you learned nothing. It also means you're stupid, because it means your rate of learning is slow. So if someone is intelligent, I can show them the red card, and on the first go, they change their behavior. And so by defining intelligence that way and defining learning that way, it allowed me to start thinking, well, I want to be smart. And this circumstance had this outcome last time. And so the next time I see this circumstance, this red card, I'm going to change my behavior. And so when we consume the information that you have on this podcast or whatever it is, there's probably a circumstance, whether it's a conversation that you're supposed to have but you aren't having, it's a decision that you need to make but you're putting off. That's the red card. It comes up again. And the question is whether you're going to get slapped or you're going to duck. And that's whether you know whether you learned or not. And every time you get shown the red card and you do the same exact thing, you just prove to yourself that your rate of learning is slower. And so for me, I want to have that evidence that I learned quickly. And for me, that's why like people see me as ruthless, as you said, because I'm willing to cut relationships. Because if I think that I'm going to eventually cut the relationship, then why would I not cut it today? Because I might as well start enjoying the benefits of cutting that relationship as soon as humanly possible.
The one trait I see over and over again that is clear to the people who are winners, right? The top 1%. I'm not talking top 10%, the top 1% is the speed with which they execute after making a decision. This is what creates success, because the gap between where you decide something is a good idea and when it actually occurs is the loop with which you can improve your business. The faster you can pivot and iterate, the more responsive you are as an entrepreneur, the faster you can take advantage of opportunities, the faster you can find out what failures are, and then move on.